when it's time to give stuff away.
All right, I'm going to go see The Warning. These are sisters. They're barely out of their teens from Mexico. They blew up about a decade back when they were real little, doing an Enter Sandman cover on YouTube. And they've been getting better and better ever since. You hear that song Sick that we're playing a lot in MMS. Great song. I think the new album's dropping this summer. September 18th, The Warning is going to play the world-famous Agora. That is a Wednesday night. You hang on to these tickets till the fall, but you'll have agoracleveland.com for all the info. Should be a rager. So you'll get my last pair this week. Want to go see The Warning? Be caller 10, 216-578-1007. Or 800-348-1007.
Our live stream is now Scratch and Sniff, in that you can scratch the screen and then sniff your fingers. Yeah, the Alan Cox Show.
100.7
WMMS.
Who's helping out in the live stream today? Who's making sure that Bridget Linton is framed properly? And
Am I?
Pickle Slickson. Hey, thanks so much. Assistants back there in the video department from Pickle Slickson. Guardians baseball tonight. They had a tougher time in Denver than I think they anticipated. But they're back home, starting up tonight against the Nationals next week. They'll host the Kansas City Royals. 7:10 tonight is your first pitch, about 6:40. Shortly after we roll out is when your pregame coverage will begin with Hammy and Rosie and the whole Hee-Haw gang. And tomorrow, if you're looking for some appropriate gear, maybe you're not counting on getting a Stephen Kwan jersey at the game tomorrow. You got to have some threads of your own. You can get around the corner here pregame to CLE Clothing Company and grab something from them. They've always got, that's where you're going to find like your official Buzzard merch. We're always dropping new things there. If you want to make sure that your drip is all it can be.
I get it. I'm a young person.
Yeah.
Young and hip.
Bet.
Hello, fellow kids. Use the promo code Cardinal starting tomorrow. Today, you can still use flour. But when June hits, Cardinal is what you're going to want to use. Whenever you use it, how often you use it, just do that, and you'll get 20% off whatever you get. So if you shop online, you go into one of their stores, just use Cardinal all through the month of June, and you'll be good to go. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, tell me where that happens. I like to hear from our bureau chiefs from out of state. Christine listens in Las Vegas. Jason is on Cobb Mountain out in California. Mike's in Livonia, Michigan. Melanie's in Smithville, Tennessee. Gary listens up in Vestal, New York. And Jonathan is our bureau chief in Clanton, Alabama.
Alan, you said that mom's spaghetti is terrible, and then Bridget said she had the sauce, and then you said you've never had the sauce. So what exactly did you have of M&M spaghetti? I'm very confused.
Very valid point.
You're straight. All right.
Well, you said you meant the jarred sauce.
Right.
I've never had the jarred sauce. I've gone to the restaurant, the little drive-through thing in Detroit. Yeah.
But obviously it's the sauce on the spaghetti.
I can't imagine that they're using the mass-produced sauce and shipping it out in jars.
Yeah, why would they use anything else?
Because that's usually a whole different thing. There's a factory somewhere making that stuff. And in a restaurant, they're making stuff there.
No, I think they're using the jarred sauce at the restaurant.
When you said somebody gave you the sauce, that's what I had in my head. Because you can go online and order the sauce.
Huh.
What I had was gross.
And you got just the regular spaghetti.
Yeah, maybe I got them on a bad day because you get it spaghetti by itself or with balls is what the menu says, or with rabbit balls because that was what he. That's vegan or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, bee rabbit. I get it.
Vegan meatballs. Even though rabbits aren't vegan, I don't know what they mean, but
true.
Yeah. So maybe I got them on a bad day.
Maybe I haven't had it. I just had the sauce, so I got to get myself to Detroit.
I also think it's really hard to ruin
spaghetti
sauce. Spaghetti's pretty. I like it. I haven't had it in a long time, but I know that I like it. For those of you keeping score at home, on the things that I do and don't like. Bill doesn't always eat his boogers. Sometimes his dog does. Somebody texts. Is that true?
Yeah, I've mentioned that.
Okay. Does anyone there eat their own scabs?
Ew. What is wrong with these people?
Well, I don't remember the last time I got hurt to the extent where I developed a scab.
That actually makes me ill.
I can unequivocally tell you no, but I can't remember the last time I had a scab.
I actually feel ill right now. Not because of the hangover.
I was going to say, this is not the best hangover conversation is what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't eat scabs. Not my scabs, not your scabs. No scabs.
Now.
You got to draw the line somewhere.
Well, what would be the difference?
What?
Between a scab and a booger.
Scab and a booger?
I mean, if that's the conversation you're having.
Listen, I'm not here to judge people like Bridget is.
I am definitely judging you and whoever eats their scabs.
Well, you also need to judge Mary Santora, too. Not Santorum. Mary Santora also eats her boogers.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't fall down gender lines either.
Right.
Yeah.
Glad you two could bond over that.
It's good to be Bill Squire. It always feels right when he's in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all pretentious like you guys.
I like that one.
Alan, let Bill know there was a study. Oh, I'm sure he knows. This is what people who do this
Dementia,
always
right?
throw to.
Yeah.
Because of the bacteria in boogers, this says increases your risk of developing Alzheimer's. I heard decreasing. Like there was
both.
I've seen studies where they go, it's
Which
actually
seems
for
like-
people who do it, it might,
Which means I don't think it has anything to do with Alzheimer's at all.
Well, also how, again, I'm not a doctor. Liz can't witch doctor. I don't know how something in your nose, because of the bacteria, would increase your risk of Alzheimer's. I mean, you got bigger problems than boogers if,
And like, who thought of this study? Like, everyone that gets Alzheimer's, let's see if they eat their boogers or they don't. Like, who thought of that study to figure it out?
Well, there have been so many Alzheimer's, and there continue to be so many Alzheimer's studies that all focus on like one variable that you can't come to any broad conclusion. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Just eat your boogers. It's fine.
Fart your farts.
Fart your fart. Eat your bugs.
Eat your bugs.
Waffle your stomp.
Ew. Do you fart in front of your girlfriend?
I mean, yeah.
Does she fart in front of you?
No.
Yeah.
It feels like an asymmetrical situation.
Listen, I don't care if she does, though. I don't. I'm not one of those who's like,
Oh,
girls
that's so
can't
gross.
fart.
Girls
Yeah,
are not
no.
allowed to fart or poop. Yeah.
Fart's a funny thing.
Oh.
I try not to. Like, I don't, intentionally fart around her.
Sometimes
But
it slips up.
yeah, especially sharing a bed. There's going to be farts in the morning.
And do you do the whole like, oh, sorry, do you want me to get a stomach ache or do you want me to let it out?
No, I can't hear what she's saying because she's stuck under the covers.
He's Dutch ovening her. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Honey, why do you sound so muffled? Please let me out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what she gets. She loves
I
me.
think you found your match, yeah.
That's what she gets.
She gets.
Like it's a punishment.
No, it's a
It almost seems like he's looking at it as a reward.
Honey, you got to take me as I am.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I'm not that guy. I was always, listen, again, I grew up in a Catholic family. We didn't really talk about a lot of things, and we certainly weren't a farty family.
Yeah.
So I didn't grow up like that. So I grew up.
Farts was like the stuff that we could talk about that we could get away with.
Yeah.
Where we could, we couldn't talk about sex or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're in Mormon house. We were not making those kinds of jokes, but we can make fart jokes. And so we did.
And they are funny.
And here you are, still doing it.
Yeah, they are funny. Well, the trick is monetizing it,
Okay, explain.
which against all odds we've managed to do.
Right.
Explain.
Yeah.
How did you make money off farts?
I've made a career
is
out
us.
of it. What are you talking
We're getting
about?
paid right now.
Like
Oh,
we're literally
yeah.
talking about farts and you're getting paid to be on here. Okay.
Yes.
I get it. Yep.
Well, one of my mom's favorite stories to tell is we were on our way back from a trip. I think we were going to New York, and we were on our way back from New York State. And I yelled to my dad, I was like, hey, we got to pull over. I'm going to chunk in my pants for whatever reason.
That is quite the description.
Yeah. And so,
How old were you?
probably 10 or 11.
Old enough to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna chunk in my.
Yeah.
Or was that the vernacular in your house?
That's just what I said at that
I
time.
see, okay.
I, for whatever reason, we'd go through phases of different slang we'd make up for taking a dump, and at that time, chunk was happening.
Chunk was the one.
And so I got a chunk in my pants, and so he pulls over, and then we go into the McDonald's, and he's like, all right, well, since we're here, I'll get dinner for us, or lunch, or whatever we were, and I go into the bathroom, and I take a dump, but I'm also moaning really loud. And they're just going, oh, like groaning and moaning, and like you can hear it through the whole restaurant.
There is something wrong with you.
And I'm doing that on purpose.
Oh, you're trying to be funny.
I'm trying to be funny.
Okay.
And so my dad is like completely embarrassed while he's trying to order the food. My mom is just mortified.
Did you get in trouble?
No. What are they gonna do? I was like,
Had to go. Had a chunk.
Yeah, I had the chunk, and it was coming out crazy. So I was just expressing I didn't know it was gonna be so loud. I didn't know
What
you
you're
guys
saying
could
is
hear
you've been
it.
the same person your whole life, which I appreciate the authenticity.
And so then the next week, my parents were out on a date, and my mom looks at my dad and goes, Jim, you got to find a place to stop or else I'm going to chunk in my pants.
Stop. Oh, my God. I love that your mom brought it back.
Yeah.
That was a call. That's
A little
Bill's first
callback,
callback.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, the groaning in the McDonald's while I was taking a dump was chef's kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mortifying for your parents,
Yes,
I'm
it
sure.
was, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't talk about all that kind of stuff in my house. It wasn't because I guess it couldn't be. It just wasn't. That
Yeah, I
wasn't the
don't think I did
vibe
either.
of our family. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not like everybody else was talking. It was just like
It was you.
that was me. Yeah, and I was.
You're eating your boogers, chunking
Yeah.
all over the place.
No, I was chunking in the toilet. I didn't want it to be in my pants, so I had to make an announcement. Dad, I wanted to know it was serious.
So the chunking
hey,
in your hand came later in life.
Yeah, a little bit.
Chunking to the
few years
left
later.
and chunking to the right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What are you gonna do?
Yep. Well,
Yeah, the way
I can't change the past. It's happened. I'm not gonna be ashamed of it. I'm not gonna act like I didn't do these things.
I went the other way, like growing up with my mom kind of concerned with appearances and things.
yeah.
Manners were so
Yes.
drilled into us.
Same.
So, like, even as a grown person, like,
Well, it
I
was
don't fart. I'm not a farty guy anyway, but it's like I would never.
Do you go
like,
in the bathroom when you have to?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I would find another room, but it's like
Yeah.
I would never like cut one in front of my wife.
Wow.
Not that she would care at all,
Right.
but I'm just not that guy. I'm not.
Again, I'm not doing that in front of I'm not intentionally farting in front
No,
of my
but you wouldn't
like,
go into another room to let it go.
Most of the time I do.
Oh, you do.
I'm talking like when people are like, oh, you never like I've farted in front of her because sometimes one gets out in the morning
Yeah.
is usually what will happen.
And you're still like half asleep.
Yeah. So like that's when the most likely time it is to happen. I'm not just like ripping ass in front and being like, high five, babe.
High five. You've
Did
heard
you hear that one? That was a good one.
Uh-huh.
You've heard Bill's stairwell fart. Yeah, we've indoctrinated you or inducted you into that.
I don't think so.
This is in the building I live in.
In the stairwell of his building.
Okay.
We're trying to get a really good one. We've been trying to update it, but it's not.
This one's from
tops of the
years
book.
ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're like rehearsing. You're trying
Well,
to
this
get this.
he's tried to top this one. We're just not there yet.
Okay.
This one's just real good.
Oh my God! It echoed.
Yeah.
Well, he's at the 9th, 10th floor. Yeah.
Yeah, the 10th floor.
So you knew it was coming, and you're like, "Hold on, let me get out my phone and record this."
Yeah. Because it's like,
I am
again,
learning
I'm
so much about
farting
you
in the
this show.
morning. Like, are you not farting in the
That's
morning?
professional courtesy that he did that for us.
I mean,
He's thinking of the show.
You are. Yep. You knew that there's going to be plenty of segments about farts that you're like, let me get one, a real one.
Listen, I know what I bring
On
to
the
the show. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses.
That is.
But that it also
It's impressive.
It's a fun place to fart because of the echoes in
yeah.
there. So like, whether you're burping or farting, like a stairwell's a good place to do it.
Great content.
Yeah.
Are you a pansy, Alan?
You're not super farty, huh?
I don't think so, no.
Mm.
I don't like to hear them from other people or smell them
But-
from other people either.
Not from other people, but your own.
Like, I get, well,
You don't ever like cut a fart in your bed and be like, "That was hilarious."
no.
It doesn't like make it like
It doesn't make me laugh.
like a
no.
loud one.
No. It doesn't make me laugh.
Like
I
a
actually get
loud,
mad when
rolling
other people
fart?
do it. Like, if like my dad does it or something, I'm like, Dad, you're disgusting. Why'd you just do that? It was so loud, whatever. And he does the whole like,
We're
well,
talking about you. Not,
my stomach hurts. No, that's how much I don't like them. Like, they make me mad.
they make you mad.
Like, definitely other people's. I don't think
No,
my
but-
own like make me mad.
Well, I
But I'm
think
not
for
like,
s-
oh, that was cool. Or,
I
that
think
was
Not
funny.
it's cool, but it's like
Funny? No.
you've never like had a fart and then like made like a weird like bubble or something. You're like
It's funny. It's
Or
funny to
you've had one-
guys. It's funny to
you've had
guys
one,
and,
like-
and young girls.
fart and like roll.
And young girls.
Yeah.
Like,
And
kids?
instead of rolling up your back, it rolled up the front, and then
That's sick. Stop it. I don't want to be a part of this conversation anymore.
My daughter is 8.
And she likes farts.
She's a big time farter. And when my older daughter was 7 and 8, big time farter.
Interesting.
And yeah, so funny.
I wonder
And
if
so
I was. I'll have to
well,
ask.
because they're not shamed either.
Right.
But guys, and it's not universal, but I feel like it leans toward guys, obviously, because we're just kind of naturally maybe more gross, is that it's just never. Again, I'm very ambivalent because on the one hand, like I wouldn't do it in a room with somebody, but they are hilarious. Hilarious. I'll never hear someone do it
And not
and
laugh.
not chuckle. Not a
I mean, there's
belly.
sometimes it's just like whatever, but like sometimes it's just funny, like especially like a fart.
We have
at a-
audience members submitting theirs to
Oh,
us.
Yeah.
you really have made a career out of farts.
the best fart I've ever done.
Someone submitted that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, wow.
Like, you're laughing though.
Okay, I like just want to know, like, how do you know that's what it's gonna sound like? Unless they're
They don't.
recording
Yeah.
every single fart, like that's a good one. Sending into the Alan Cox Show.
You never seen Guess the Fart?
No.
Where it's like,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, where it's like someone will be like, oh, I got a fart. Guess the fart, and they'll be like, and then like they'll fart, and it sounds. Sometimes it'll be right, sometimes it'll be wrong. But
What do
it's
you mean
funny.
guess? Like, oh, they were sitting down and that's
No,
how
no,
they
no,
did
like,
that?
you're
make-
guessing the sound.
Make the noise that you think
Oh,
it'll sound like, and some
Yeah.
people will go,
Yeah,
and then sometimes they'll match it,
yeah, it's very funny.
This
and
is-
that's the finished product.
All right. Well, again, you know, I always learn something on this show. I've learned a lot about Bill on this show. I don't know if I wanted to learn all
My
this.
best
but
fart of all time though was we went to the movies, and 2 of my kids went to a scary movie, and then me and my son, we went and saw, I think it was Ant-Man.
Okay.
So we went into this movie, and our movie finished before the scary movie. So I think it was like Annabelle.
Ooh, very
Like,
scary.
Yeah. And as they're like panning at the very end of the movie, they're going through like this room and showing all these like haunted, creepy things. And it's real tense. And I walk in there to check to see like how much is left. And I was like, oh my God, I got one. And so right before it's like I've never seen the movie, but I just like, you know, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
So it's super quiet in the movie. And so I just go in there, and as they're like cutting to the part where like the doll moves one last time, I let one go, and it like the whole theater hears it, and they start dying laughing. And my daughter and I run out, and my daughters come out, and they're like, someone just farted
You're
at
like
the
me.
end of the movie, and I was like, yeah. And they're like, it was you. I'm like, yeah, it was me. And they're like, that was the funniest thing. And so making my kids
That was the
laugh with
proudest
that
they'd
fart,
ever been.
It was
Yeah.
it was incredible. It was just a perfectly timed fart.
That's a nice fun fact.
Yeah. That brought a lot of people a lot of joy.
Nothing if not a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Somebody farted, standing in the welfare line.
Now this is good old school hip hop.
I agree.
right?
I'm kind of into this one. Nice beat.
The line just parted, 'cause some nasty sucker knew he just had farted. The dance floor's rocking, yes, the place is packed. Somebody rip one off, everybody move back. People pointing
Ah, it's so
fingers.
stupid.
Grab my girl and we departed.
It's a catchy beat.
Yep.
Some nasty sucker